And all we're going to do is throw it out over there. Sploosh. Pity it was dark, we couldn't see the effect on it. Right, so I completed the journey step, throw an orb, it's gained me a level. Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Conan Exiles for Beginners with Gazbeard. And happiness is watching minions work away, making things to support your luxurious lifestyle. Anyway, I said last episode that I'd show you how to repair some armor. So we're at the armorer's bench, and we're wearing light armor, so we're going to need skins. I think that's all we need. We switch across to our inventory, and we then just select the item to repair, click repair, and off it goes. When it's fully repaired, we just put it back on. We'll do the same for each piece of the armor. Now, because we're only using hides to repair this armor, it's quite simple and quick and easy. If we were just wearing our canvas clothes, we'd only need plant fiber to repair them, and those we could repair anyway. But armor that's been made at the workbench, you need to repair at the workbench. If we were, for example, wearing medium armor, then we would need leather to repair it, and if we were wearing heavy armor, we would need leather and iron bars to repair it. There we are, that's them done. Cost us about 12 hides in total to repair that up. Now, I've got 3 fishes here that I took out of the fish traps. We're going to start decorating the place up. It's looking a bit Spartan, to say the least, so I'm going to come along to the artisan's table, and we're going to put those fish into the artisan's table for now. And the recipe of a rare fish trophy requires 1 exotic fish, 1 shaped wood. We've got 14 of them in here, so we'll craft 1 of those. We'll do this one, requires the same but a different fish, and we'll do this one, which also requires the same but a different fish. There we go. And we'll put them down onto our ready bar for placement. Now, I think I unlocked... No, I didn't. I thought I'd unlocked the first level of Hunter's Trophies, which would have allowed me to mount the Shaleback head as a Hunter's Trophy, but obviously I haven't. Right, so where are we going to put these fish trophies? Well, we can't put them on that rock, that's for sure. We could put them above that door, I suppose. Right, let's try and get roughly central. So we'll start with the big one, which is this one. We'll put him up top. Put him a reasonable height. In fact, I might have to go into first person view, just to make sure that we're getting things correctly aligned. We'll put him up like that, and then number 4, which we can put down here, and number 5, which we can put over on this side. Looks a bit like a piranha in that depiction. So let's go back to third person view. Back up a bit, have a look. How does it... it's not quite right. The bottom left hand fish is... well, I'll tell you what, actually, it's that fish that's not right. So we'll pick that up. Move it in closer to the door a bit, and again, we're going to have to go into first person view. And it wants to be a bit more like that. I think that'll probably do it. Let's just back up and check it. Yeah, it's about right. Leaves us a little space underneath for putting that shellback head once we get it mounted. And that just starts to decorate the place up a bit. Right, I was hoping we got a journey step for that, but we didn't. Never mind. Such is the way of things. And night time has descended on us. Now, we're still using a stone spear, and if you remember, we took down a few crocodiles in the last episode or two using the stone spear, so it's actually a good weapon, but I want to upgrade it to an iron one. And we unlocked the iron pike. Sticks. I was sure we had a load of sticks on us, but they seem to have disappeared. Tell you what we'll do, we'll take those sticks out of there, drop that wood down to there, and we'll throw those into there. And then we'll make, wow, 30 iron bars to make the iron pike. Good God. Okay, so we'll put that into there. Right, so the iron pike does 20 damage and has got 8% armor penetration. The stone does 15 damage with 8% armor penetration. So we don't get any additional armor penetration by moving up to the iron pike, but we get an extra 5 damage per blow. And this is just a standard one, it's not an exceptional or anything like that. It's just standard construction. Right, so we'll put that stone pike into there, because we can always give it to a thrall if we need to. Move that to there. That's fine. So we've still got to make the one-handed iron sword. However, we'll probably wait until we get to a higher level before we make a higher level of one-handed sword. Right, and I think that's sunrise coming. Kinda looks like it. Sky's lighter at the top of the river, which is where the sun usually rises. We've got to get doors on here, but again, I want to get a higher level of construction skills to put stronger doors rather than just those simple wooden ones. Right, so that's armor repairs. That's trophy crafting, and we've made an iron pike. We need something to do in this episode. What should we do? Well, first things first, let's check how our Wheel of Pain is progressing. We've still got that named cook on the Wheel of Pain, waiting for him to break and become a minion. And his progress has barely moved, look. He's really taking his time to convert to the truth that Gaz is Lord. So I think what we probably want to do then is get more gruel on there, because I'm not convinced that 500 is going to be enough to break him. We've got 24 seeds already. We'll pick up more as we get the plant fibre. So let's just go down and quickly do that. It's boring, it's tedious, but it's an essential part of the game. Later on, when we get up to a much higher level and we can make steel tools, we'll be able to make a steel scythe, which will harvest these bushes a lot faster and give us much greater yield from them. At the moment we're just picking them by hand, and that's why our yield is low. But we are getting handfuls of insects and more seeds from them at the same time, so it's all good. And the next thing that we'll do after that, when we get that gruel underway, I think is we'll go and have a look at the alchemist's bench and making a few potions and dyes, and then how to use those dyes. These are all tips that you'll want to know for your own gameplay if, as with the design of this series, you're a beginner and you're not 100% familiar with how Conan Exiles works. Because like a lot of games that are delivered online nowadays, they don't come with a manual to tell you. You don't get all the insider tips and tricks from the developers that you used to get with boxed games that came with their own manual and all the instructions and keyboard overlays and everything else that they used to come with. Right, let's just get a few more. We're coming up to 100 pieces of plant fibre. Let's see if we can make it 120 again. 107. 112. 116. You're going to make it 120? Ah, you had to be one short, didn't you? Oh well, 120. In fact, what we'll do is we'll just dip down to the river, because we're next to it. We'll just top up the water bottle and have a drink. We can eat all those bugs on the way back. We'll just take away that hunger. Like that. Right, so put all that plant fibre into there, and I think we'll top it up with seeds. Oh, we got some yellow lotus seeds. Excellent. We've got some bees. These have all got to be put away, of course. And we tell that to make that gruel. And once it's done, we'll put that on the wheel. While it's cooking, we'll go and put those bits and pieces away. So those yellow lotus seeds we'll just throw down here for now. You see I've filled some of the glass water flasks already, put them in the cupboard, but I've also left 20 in the cauldron ready for use, and we'll put them there. Put the bees in this cupboard, waiting for when we can make beehives. And that gruel's almost made. Excuse me having a slurp of early morning coffee while I'm waiting for that gruel to make. All this talk about food and having something to drink, you know, it just triggers a response, and coffee is that response. So, come on, get on with it, let's have them done. Right, there we go, 240 gruel made out of that lot. Let's move them onto the wheel. And there should be almost enough there to break that cook. And we're going to need to go and find a taskmaster somewhere, but unfortunately we can't put them onto the wheel to break them to make them into a minion until that cook is off the wheel. Right, so how did this guy get on in here? Right, he's got a bunch of extra flasks made. He's still making flasks. Let's just tell him to get on with it. She's got nothing that she's making right now. So let's have a look at what we do with this guy. Right, now the key to all your recipes is the water-filled glass flask. So basically you make the glass flasks in the furnace, and in fact if I demonstrate what you have to then do, so you make start at the beginning. You harvest the crystal from the caves, or when you're mining rocks or coal or iron, you'll get the odd crystal bit of drop, but mainly you get crystal from the caves. You put them in the furnace, and the furnace converts them to glass. Glass is then converted with the glass flask mold, which you have to research as one of your skill items, and you can then make glass flasks. So if we take a set, come on, take a set of 20 flasks with us, and you then find a source of water such as the river or a well or even a lake or pond. There are those dotted around, and you put the glass flasks on your ready bar. You go to the source of water, and just like filling your water flask for drinking, you just keep dabbing that key, in this case the number 4 key, and they change into water filled flasks from being empty glass flasks. And if you're doing multiple sets, so if I'd put them on say the 4, 5 and 6 key, only the first set that I filled with water would stay on the ready bar, the rest would go into the regular inventory. So you might get a bit of a fright and think you're losing some. They're not, they've just gone into your main inventory. Right, so we then bring those glass flasks up to the alchemist's fireball cauldron. Shut the door to keep the shellbacks out. We put the glass flasks, God, can't English today, put the glass flasks into the fireball cauldron, and then we decide what we're going to make. So I think what we'll do today is we'll make a couple of dyes and a couple of potions. So we've got all this aloe to use. This is the recipe for aloe extract, which is a healing potion. It requires 10 aloe leaves per potion. So we'll make 10 of those. Don't actually need the glass flasks to make this. You can just make it straight off the leaves, which is something I forgot about. We've got yellow lotus blossom. Now, down here somewhere, there we are. Yellow lotus potion. Again, you don't need the glass flasks for that. You need 10 blossoms per potion. We can only make 2, but let's do that. then we want to make some dyes. Now the orange Phycos makes, surprisingly, orange dye. There we go, orange Phycos. It's 1 orange Phycos and 1 glass flask per dye. So let's make 10 of those. And green dye, regular green dye, uses 1 flask and 20 plant fibres. We've only got 65 plant fibres there, but let's make 3 of those. And that's midnight blue. We don't have that flower. I'm looking dark dye colorant. That uses tar. Now we've got we're building up a fair bit of tar, so let's just grab a bit of tar out of the cupboard. We've got 45 there, so if we split that, we can make 4 using that. Put them into there. We're going to run out of space in here for them to add all this stuff. So dark dye colorant, we can make 4. Let's do that. That's ash dye. That needs resin. We don't have any resin yet. I'm looking for the... That's light ash dye, light dye colorant. Needs bones. We don't have any bones at the moment. We'll have to get some more bones, and remember to put them in here for making that. What you do with the dark and light dye colorant is you add it to a primary color such as the orange, and it then makes it into a lighter one like here. So you can see, use a light dye colorant and an orange dye and you get a light orange. That's how they all mix up. Right, what's that? Totemic fodder. That needs bones, blood and gruel. Totemic fodder is used for making body paints once you research the body paint skill. Steel fire uses tar and brimstone. You use that for converting iron to steel. Stone consolidant uses ichor and twine. You use that to make hardened bricks. Water orb. If we get a bit of ichor, we can make a couple of water orbs, because one of our current journey steps is to use an orb, to throw an orb. Now we know that we've got some ichor up in the carpenter's bench because we put it there for making arrows. So what we'll do is we split that down. There we go. We'll just make the one, and then we can take it outside and throw it, and that'll get us the journey step. So if we throw that into there and make a water orb. Right, let's get it all underway. Let's hope the 51 wood is enough to craft it all. Might not be, we might have to go and get some more wood. Yeah, it's using 3 wood per aloe, so it's going to use 30 of those wood just to make the aloe. So I guess that means we're going to have to go and harvest some more wood and come back. So if we leave that operating, let's go harvest some wood. We'll need to pick up some stones for repairing the axe at the same time. Where's the best bunch of trees? Down there probably. I'll put the pickaxe on the bar just in case. In fact, let's go get some stone first. 45 stone. Let's just get one more little bit. There we go, 59 stone. That'll let us do repairs. And we'll get the axe out. Hello, baby shell. We were short on sticks earlier for some reason, weren't we? So let's just continue picking up sticks. Right. Get the axe out. Start with this tree. There's 100 wood already. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get a fair collection of wood and we'll top up all the different fires and everything else that uses wood. Might as well do it while we're out on a wood harvest. Yeah, we'll get these 2 trees and call it a day. So this resource harvesting is a continuous and integral part of Conan Exiles, and I'm not using the most efficient tool at the moment because I'm still using a stone axe, but the reason for using a stone axe is that when it breaks, as long as you've got a couple of bits of stone on you, you can just immediately repair it without having to use other valuable resources. Right, there we go. For example, if I was using an iron axe, the amount of wood that we got back compared to the amount of iron that we'd have to use to repair it would just make it not really worthwhile. Right, so we'll top that up to 100. Top that one up to 100. That one's at 100. We'll top that one up to 100. Keep them 7 on us for dumping into there. Whoops, get down. We'll put that 100 into there. We'll tell it to make another 10 of them, which will give us another 10 bark for different things. Come back to this. So it's made the 10 aloe. And it's working on the yellow lotus potion at the moment. And it's using a lot of wood. Let's just go put that stone into the grinding bowl to make some more salt, because we'll get through a lot of salt once we get the oven. But always worth doing it. Wow, we've built up a lot of bone meal. So we don't need to be throwing any more bones and skulls into there. Right, we'll put those sticks into here for making daggers and spears and what have you. And it's taking forever to make one of those yellow lotus potions. Move that piece of wood across. not going to use all 40 of those, so I'm going to move one set down there. We forgot to repair the stone tools before we put that stone into the grinding bowl, but that's okay, because what we can do is it takes 10 stone to make 1 salt. It's got 6 left over. We'll just come across here, repair that, repair that. It doesn't need a repair. And then we can put those 4 back in there for topping it up the next time. Still only halfway through making that second yellow lotus. I'm hoping that when it makes a die that we get a journey step. That's what I'm hoping for. We just need to wait for this. And I'm sorry this is the boring bit, but let's see if we can find something else to do. Oh yeah, you notice I've made some more cupboards and chests and things. This is from the skill that we unlocked about 5 or 6 episodes ago. The chests can be locked, so that if you're on a PvP server you can lock the chests. People who are not in your clan then can't get into them without destroying them. And just have a look, see upstairs. Done a little bit of work up here, just while we're waiting for that yellow lotus. I've put a pair of chests and a cupboard in my room, and another cupboard in here, just starting to make it feel a little bit more like my place, as it were. But I'll have lots of reasons for having that storage later. How's this doing? Keep topping that back to 50 so I know how many's here. Seem to be doing okay. No reason to bring more fish up yet. That's the food for the thralls. They just automatically take it when they need it. That yellow lotus is done. Don't know why it's not showing 2 there. It should be. It's only showing 1. We told it to make 2. There it's making the green dye using this. I did put an extra row on there. That's good. I wasn't sure if it would or not. Don't normally have that many rows on here. But we're just waiting for that flask now. That water flask. So, to summarise the Alchemist's Fireball Cauldron, you get your recipes over here for what you can make, and you assemble the materials for the recipe, you put them into the cauldron, and then you tell it to go. Make sure you've got either sticks or wood or coal or oil in the cauldron as fuel, and you then just have to wait for it to finish making them. As you capture thralls that are alchemists, different races will give you different bonus recipes, and different levels of alchemist will also give you different quantities of recipes. So if you wanted to have absolutely every recipe in the game, you would probably need to have about 8 fireball cauldrons, each with a different race of named alchemist on them. Not just a tier 1 or 2 or 3, but a named one. Okay, so let's put these dyes in the cupboard. We'll probably use a couple of them in a moment. And we want to throw that orb just to get the journey step out of the way. Obtain a potion. Now that we've moved the aloe out of the cauldron, we got a journey step for it. That's good. What I'll do is I'll move that leaf there and I'll put them there so they're together. Right. So let's just put the dyes in the cupboard. Green dyes, dark dye colorant. I think that's light. Yeah, light and dark. And then go for the ashes. That's yellow. So we'll put the orange next to the yellow. I'm going to use those green dyes. Yeah, we'll leave the aloe in the cupboard right now. This cochineal, we can make red dye with that. So that's another colour that we've got in our range. Let's go throw that. Oops. Let's go throw that water flask. Complete that journey step. And all we're going to do is throw it out over there. Sploosh. Pity it was dark, we couldn't see the effect on it. Right, so I completed the journey step, throw an orb, it's gained me a level. Once those bugs, get them out of the way. Use the dye. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dye my archer's clothes. I like my archers to have a green uniform just so that I know that who they are. So I'm going to take her skirt and her chest piece and her boots, and I'm going to apply a dye to each of them. We'll start with that one. I'm going to dye the black bit into a green, like that. There's another journey step, dye an item. Take the chest piece, dye that, and I think it's that one. Yep. And the boots. That's going to be the grey as well. Yep. So then we put them back onto her. Like that. And I would normally do the gloves as well, but I only made 3 green dyes. So for now, that's going to have to do. I'll do her gloves when I get some more plant fibre to make some more green dyes. Yeah, just adds a bit of personalisation. These guys, various bits and pieces, I'll dye red, which is why I wanted the cochineal. So red for brawlers, green for archers. That's just the colour scheme that I use with my thralls, and then I know which are my thralls and which are attacking enemies. Because although down here at the edge of the river, the purges will mainly consist of things like crocodiles, shalebacks, hyenas, possibly scorpions, maybe even a band of Dafari raiders. Once we get further up the map, then we may be facing enemies with similar armor sets to what we've got. So by using colours so that I know who is who, it means that when I'm rushing around swinging that big sword, I'm not damaging my own thralls. Right, that's quite a few things packed into today's episode. Mending your armour, making glass flasks, making spear. The fact, oh, that's the point, that's what we've got to show again. We've made those 10 extra bits of shade wood, we've got 10 bits of bark, I'm going to stick these ones across in the dryer because we'll be collecting a lot of berries soon. Making shaped wood from regular wood creates bark as a byproduct that you can then use in your dryer and in your tannery, and also you can use it in the alchemist's bench. I think he uses it in one of his recipes in the fireball cauldron. Right, so quite a few bits and pieces done there, and that's it for today, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you've enjoyed it, hope it's useful to you, hope it helps you out in your own gameplay. If it does, give the video a like, subscribe to the channel so that you get notification of all the new videos, which at the moment are coming out at the rate of one a day at 5 o'clock in the afternoon UK time. I'm Gazbeard, this is Conan Exiles. Leave your comments and questions down below. I look forward to reading them and answering them, and I'll see you in the next one. As always from me, it's not goodbye, it's just bye for now.